Here we go. It is Friday Night Live. Tonight should be a pretty short one and a pretty simple one actually, but I want to talk about it because of an email that I received this week. I got an email from a lady who works for the federal government. She's under FERS, and she said that she had taken her TSP out, everything except for the last 2 years, and she invested it somewhere else. And she was having a really hard time figuring out how much her pension was going to be under FERS. So she came to one of the classes. We did a worksheet in there, and I told her how much it was going to be, about $2,000 a month. But she wrote to me because she said, I'm still really confused about this. I told you that I took my TSP out and I invested it somewhere else. So are you still telling me that I'm going to get this money every month? Yes. Yes. And she's not the only one. We don't know this stuff, right? We don't study this stuff. We don't know about this stuff. So it's not at all uncommon to have people think that their retirement is their TSP. If you work for the federal government and you are under FERS, the Federal Employees Retirement System, the one that's been in place from 1983 through today, you're under something that's called a 3-tier retirement system. We call it a 3-tier system because you are eligible for 3 different payments from 3 different places at 3 different times in the future. Okay, so this 3-tier system, you can see it on the slide that I'm showing here. We've got 2 main retirement systems in the federal government. CSRS, the Civil Service Retirement System, we call it the old system. It was in place from 1920 until 1983 when the new system, FERS, was created. And then we have some changes as we get into 2013 and some more changes as we go forward. But everybody that has been hired into the federal government from 1983 through today is under this new retirement system. The difference is how much we're paying for our benefits, but I don't want to get into all of that tonight. Under CSRS, the Civil Service Retirement System, because that system was created way back in 1920, and we didn't have Social Security in this country until 1935, the CSRS people have a 1-tier system. They get a really nice pension from the federal government. We sometimes call that their retirement. We call that an annuity. It's a monthly income stream, and CSRS people get that. They don't pay into Social Security unless they're an offset. And again, that's a little bit of a hybrid system. I'm not going to get into all of that tonight. Offsets pay into Social Security. Traditional CSRS employees do not. And the CSRS people are free to participate in the thrift savings program if they want to, but they get only what they personally contribute to the account and whatever they make in that investment account. They don't get any money from the federal government. Conversely, people that are under the Federal Employees Retirement System or the new system get these 3 different payments. The first one is their annuity or pension or retirement, just like the CSRS people get. And that comes from the Office of Personnel Management. The money that we pay into the retirement system is all kept in a trust fund, which is called the Civil Service Retirement and Disability Fund. So that's the top box that you can see here on my slide. Civil Service Retirement and Disability Fund, it's for CSRS, it's for FERS, it's a monthly payment. It comes from the Office of Personnel Management. You get that as long as you work for 5 years or more for the federal government in a permanent position. Temporary positions do not get retirement coverage, but permanent positions do. Then the second thing that we have under FERS is a Social Security retirement. Now, that one is once a month, just like the first one is, but the first one came from the Office of Personnel Management, or OPM. The second one comes from the Social Security Administration. The first one, we're eligible to receive somewhere in our 50s. Normally, it's going to be at least 55. We have something that's called our minimum retirement age. It's based on our year of birth. Normally, it's at least 55. There are exceptions for those employees who are under special provisions of law enforcement, firefighting, air traffic control, customs and border protection officers. They can retire at 50 with 20 years or at any age with 25. But normally, we've got to be 55 or older for that very top box from the Office of Personnel Management. We're not eligible to receive our Social Security retirement until we're at least 62. Now, our full age, in order for us to get 100%, is going to be between 66 and 67 with so many months in between. It, again, will depend on the year that we're born, but the earliest is 62. So FERS people get both of those plus TSP, the Thrift Savings Program. Now, TSP for the people under FERS is different than it is for the people under CSRS. Under CSRS, they get whatever they put in there, whatever they make in the market. Under FERS, we get whatever we put in there, whatever we make in the market, plus we receive an amount that equals 1% of our biweekly paycheck automatically from the agency that we work for. So those are called agency automatic contributions. They equal 1% of the biweekly paycheck. And under FERS, we receive matching contributions up to 5% of whatever we are personally contributing into the account. So that's a little bit different from the CSRS. So when we talk about this one monthly check from the Office of Personnel Management and this one monthly check from the Social Security Administration, and we have this pot of money that is TSP, which we can choose whatever we want to do with after we leave the government. We can leave it sitting there, we can take it out, we can do both of those things. We can draw a monthly amount or once a quarter or once a year, and or we can also go in there periodically and make single lump sum withdrawals, or we can annuitize the money. So there's a lot of flexibility with that. But if I'm electing a monthly payment from TSP, then that's the third line of income that I've got coming in every single month. And the three together we refer to as our total retirement package. Okay, and so the woman that I was talking to in email thought that because she took her TSP and gave it to this company over here, then she wasn't going to be getting a retirement from the federal government. She didn't realize that she also, in addition to TSP, has that FERS retirement benefit. So I wanted to make sure that everybody here does know that you have that as well. Now, we pay for that, right? It's not free. The federal government is paying for that for us, but we pay for ourselves as well. And the amount that we have to contribute will depend on what system we're under. It will depend on when we were hired into the federal government. It will depend on the kind of work that we do. So CSRS people pay 7% of their biweekly paycheck into that retirement trust fund. People that are under CSRS-Offset or FERS employees that were hired before 2013 contribute 0.8% of their own money into that retirement trust fund. So again, you can see that up in the corner of the slide there. Those of you who came in 2013, that calendar year, have to pay 3.1% of your biweekly paycheck. And those of you that were hired into the federal government after calendar year 2013 have to pay 4.4% of your biweekly paycheck into that retirement account. Now, the numbers that I just quoted to you are not for special provisions. If I'm a federal law enforcement officer, firefighter, air traffic controller, customs and border protection officer, in addition to the 7, the 0.8, the 3.1, the 4.4, I have to pay another 0.5% every 2 weeks. That's going to fund the additional retirement benefit I'll be eligible for at the end of my career. In addition to paying into retirement, FERS people and offsets, but not CSRS traditional, pay a Social Security tax. that equals 6.2% of each of the paychecks, up to an annual limit. That changes every single year. So you can see again in that second box, the 6.2% coming out automatically. If you get to the limit, you stop paying it until the next calendar year. And then we have our TSP, which again, completely voluntary from the employee's perspective. I can contribute if I want to. I can put $19,500 in there for something called regular contribution. That's anybody, at any age, at any point in their federal career. And if the person is going to turn 50 or older in this calendar year, then that individual can put another $6,500 into TSP through catch-up. Now that's from the person themselves. That's from the individual. They also, under FERS, get that automatic 1% from the agency and get that automatic matching contribution as well. So I pay into all of these boxes while I'm working, and when I leave the federal government, then I get a payment out of each of these boxes, potentially. Again, in order for me to get a retirement benefit, I have to work for the feds for at least 5 years. And depending on how much time I had, I might be able to collect that check right away, or I might have to wait to get that check. But if I work for 5 years in a permanent position, I am entitled to that annuity payment from the Office of Personnel Management. It's calculated by multiplying your creditable length of service by your high 3 average salary and the applicable formula. Different one for special provisions, different one for FERS, different one for CSRS, different one for disability. We won't get into all of that tonight, but that's what we get out. I told you what we paid in. And then our Social Security benefit, once we're 62 or older, is computed by applying a 3-line formula to our high 35 years of reported earnings to the Social Security Administration. And TSP, variety of options, really wide open, really a lot of flexibility when it comes to that. So that one is that third box there. Simple, right? Quick, easy. Please, please, please. I can see there are a couple of people watching. I can't see who it is. But let me know if this is helpful. Let me know if you learned something. Let me know if it confirmed something for you that you already thought that you knew, but now you feel better because you do understand it. And if you've got any topics that you would like for me to talk about on Friday Night Lives, let me know. I'm doing this once a week. It is 6 o'clock Eastern, so whatever time zone you're on, that's when you can expect to see these. And I keep them all on YouTube after the fact. So if you want to look up any topics that I've talked about previously, you can find them there. Barb, you're so welcome. You're so welcome. I'm really happy to see you here. Okay, everyone, we're off to the weekend. Have a great weekend. Thanks for joining me. Take care of yourself. And again, let me know if you have any topics that you would like for me to talk about. I'm always looking for new topics. Take care.